just responding to what just happened. So what just happened right now was
you ever been to the Indian food store?
Girl the block, and it was very analogous because you did not challenge the New Mean Girl the block. The New Mean Girl the block. In this analogy, she said that you said in that quote X, and that your response was, if you said that I said X, then I apologize for saying X. I'm not going to challenge you. That was the analogy.
No, she said, if you said X, then I said it.
Yeah, so I just said,
right. And I heard that knowledge.
She said, if you said it, then I said X, I just said it.
And that's hold on. And that's exactly what I responded to. Guava note, she said it. She said Bima's not scared of me. You think I'm scared of fucking anybody? I'll go after who I feel I need to go after. The reason I chose to respond is because that's my friend. I love Guava, and that's not something that I have in my heart. So for her to say that I said that, I don't fucking remember saying that. The closest that I think I would have said is she was acting ratchet.
Exactly.
I would have never said you're ratchet.
Yeah, you do.
This is the context. Hold on. This is the context of what you said. It was something I did as far as I was packing somebody up, and I said something out of pocket, and you were laughing or whatever. We was in a private or whatever. You was like, yo, that was some ratchet ass shit, Guava. That's why I love you. That was the context. That was the context.
Don't let somebody spit on
we both was laughing, and we moved on. Like, don't let these fucking hold on. Don't let these Wendell William ass niggas try to key to your situation that has nothing to do with the main point. Only people, one mic on Wendell Williams. Nathan, go ahead, Wendell. One mic on.
The gaslighting is real. So she's part of the issue of that. None of us knew. None of us knew that you called it ratchet before she brought it up.
Yeah, but y'all put emphasis on it like it was a big deal.
Nobody else. And now she's done. Oh my gosh, she's not going to take some of the picture. Relax. She's not going to get the
Thank you, bro.
Oh my god, she's not going to get the feet pics, bro. You're not going to get the feet pics. Anyways, she brought it up, and now she's gaslit. Oh my god, you're not going to get the feet pics. You're not going to get the feet pics. Oh god, you're not going to get the relax. Bro. You're not getting that, bro.
I heard it ain't worth it, bro. You probably might not even like it.
Anyways, so the gaslighting was she brought up the whole point of the ratchetness. Nobody else even knew about the ratchet statement, and now she's saying, "Don't let him gaslight you, Bima," by talking about ratchet. No, he didn't. You brought that up.
Jacobus brought it up.
No, we didn't.
And I responded.
Hold on. Here you go. You just said it, and I quote, it was said in a private. That's what you just said. It was said in a private.
That's not the context.
That's what you just said.
Somebody tried to make a statement assassinating my character, and I said, oh, that's not nothing. I said, people say things about me all the time. I said, even Bima called me ratchet. That's what happened. Jacobus was giving examples of people who said that I was not likable or not. Now they trying to gaslight me.
No, I said no one knew that Bima said this outside of you. And then you said, no, don't let him gaslight you. I said, no, you said it in that quote. This was in the private. And then you said, no, Jacobus said it. And once again, no, Jacobus did not say that.
You're starting from where I said to Bima.
Come on,
That's a tribal chief. Finish. Go ahead, tribal chief. Finish, tribal chief.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. Oh my God! Once again, nobody knew that Bima ever called you ratchet outside of you bringing it into context. Right? Out of you bringing this up, out of you stating this ever was said. Nobody knew about this.
Why did I bring up Bima?
One second.
We're responding to the statement that we now know happened, and we're saying that Bima bowed down automatically.
No, she didn't.
Yes, she said. If you said that I said,
that's not what she said.
If you said said that I said it. I believe.
That's not what she said at first.
Oh,
Okay. Everybody was here when it was said. No one believes what was said.
I'm gonna go after Chris.
So what happened was this, right?
Oh boy.
I said that Guava has control over these people. Yeah. I said Guava has control over these people. Like, when she isn't in the room, they be talking all kinds of shit. And when she get in the room, they stop talking. Guava's like, wait that up. Who be doing that? Who be talking about me? Then Jacoby said, yo, that little Chris be doing it on the side. You know, he like low-key do it. And then afterwards, she was like, man, you think I care about what people say about me? Even then, even Bima called me Bima said that I was ratchet. She brought up the ratchet shit. That's how this shit happened, just like that. And Bima was like, me? Ratchet? I never called you ratchet. They just say, Bima, you don't remember Bima? And I was like, hey, Bima, she's telling you, you know, wink, wink. Hey, you don't remember? Like, co-signing lies. So then afterwards, Bima was like, oh, yeah, if you said I did it, I have to do it. And that's how I.
All right, my turn. So you know what's crazy? Oh, go ahead. My bad, Chris. My bad, Chris. I'm sorry.
Okay. So I just want to do a test real quick before I move forward. What I'm going to say. Who on this stage or in this room has ever heard me ever call them out their name?
Me, I heard you say that shit.
Chris, you've been very. Yeah, you came at me when I called you gay.
No, I asked a specific question. I said, who? Hold on, still my tongue tied. I said, who? No. I said, who in this room has never heard me call them out their name? No one was able to answer that question. What did I say?
You said that I was an emotional
You come out to people. You've done it several times. I don't know if I did it first. Anyways,
disingenuous. If I've said it several times and no one can.
we just gave you 2 examples. You did to
but
Lion.
Lion.
Did it to Cameron. Go ahead. What's the
Lion. But
Now he's doing the wink thing that Nathan was talking about. Look.
no, Lion. You do. Okay, but I've never called you out your name. So trying to make the point.
Keep on. What's the argument?
The argument is, you guys are saying that I called her ghetto and ratchet. I don't call anyone out their name. Now, what I did say was the day that you, Guava, you and Knowledge were going back and forth for like 30 minutes.
It was 3 hours.
Well, it seemed like.
You see how he lied?
No, I left for 30 minutes, but I thought it was like 30 minutes. I said to Nathan that I thought that was excessive. So.
You didn't call her ratchet. You called her excessive.
No, I didn't call her ghetto or ratchet. I said I thought that was excessive. It is excessive. Like 3 hours is excessive.
Your question was who?
Why can't you just let me speak? Why can't you let me speak? No.
Let him say what he needs to say.
That's what I'm saying. Okay. So
Don't ask the questions.
They don't ask questions.
Well, the reason why this ends up happening is because people don't like how other people like you, so they want to then throw darts and throw daggers and bring up your name and stuff like that because they see how other people respect you or how other people talk about you, and they don't like it. That's what's messy. Because Nathan, I came to you and let you know that I felt for when Guava was crashing out and was talking about your kids and was talking about your weight and stuff like that I didn't like that. And I was saying that to you because I genuinely felt that way. Now, the fact that you don't feel any type of way about it and you just, are rather just taking stuff like that as fresh meat to just throw back in the room, it says more about you than it does about me.
Wow, that was
No, it's my turn. It's It's my turn. It's my turn. It's my turn. It's my turn. So let me hold on. It's my turn. It's my turn. It's my turn.
Understand I'm not, bro.
All right, cool.
No matter what.
So it's my turn, right? So little secret, Chris, right? I understand that you might got your first like cultural shock in here with what I said and how I said things, right? But this is the nature and the culture of chillism, even way before I even got in here, where people have said things. Why do I hear echo? Oh, that's Louis. Yeah, you are.
Oh shit.
Way before I even came around here, right? So what you seen me come at Nathan was a byproduct of a buildup between me and this said individual and things that was said and narratives that's been spread by this said individual, right? Nathan is not a victim. Nathan can handle everything that I say out my mouth because he doesn't see me in such a way that he would even care, right? So I apologize that you thought that you coming to him and saying your opinion about what I said about him would have done anything, because he feeds off of this type of shit. He actually enjoys it. He loves it, right? So I just wanted to give you that little tidbit.
No, I agree. And
Hold on, wait, Chris, hold on, because if you start responding and other people won't chime in, let me get my other shit off that I want to say real quick.
Yeah,
Now, going back to the situation, Samoa, chill.
Relax, I'm just telling
Chill.
What?
So again, going back to the Beamer situation, see, this is why you got to pay close attention to people like Nathan and Knowledge, right? Because they will only give 99.999% of the story, but will leave out that one little 0.00001% so that it's believable, right? Because the point where Nathan was saying, what the fuck did he say? He was saying something around who in here has said something. I mean, somebody has said something about me when I wasn't around. I said, okay, well, let's wake it up, right? He first said it was one person who was Chris, right? And then Chris was like, oh, trying to say it wasn't him. Then it was somebody else that he went to that he left out. And that's what prompted me to say, wait a minute, hold on, that doesn't count. I forget who it was that he said was saying something about me, but that's what prompted me to say, listen, that these examples that y'all giving, that doesn't count.
It was still.
It wasn't Beamer.
It was still.
Yeah, it was Stilgar. Thank you. It was Stilgar. It was Stilgar, right? And I said, we all know that Stilgar doesn't like me, and I don't care. And then I even made the comment. I said, you know what?
What did I say? What did I say?
No, listen.
What did I say?
I didn't say you said anything, nigga. So anyway, after Stilgar was mentioned, which Nathan purposely forgot to mention, that's what prompted me to say, listen, that's the examples y'all brought up, that don't mean nothing. Because even my own friends like Beamer call me ratchet and this, that, and the third. And that's when Beamer was like, hold on, wait. I called you ratchet? Right? And I was not able to provide context because all of the Wendell Williams in the room, girl, came off mic and wasn't allowing me to give context. And so that's when Beamer was like, hold on. I know my girl, right? I know if she says it, then that's what it is, because we've had that dynamic to where I don't have to lie to Beamer for nothing. And then after the fucking knowledges and all of them had to say what they had to say, I provided context into how it was said to me, and it was in a joking manner. But y'all like to take shit and y'all literally argue how fast shit comes out of a nigga's ass, right? That's what y'all like to do, but that's not the context. So when everybody's done in the queue, I would like to resurface back to who was talking about me behind my back, saying that they don't like me and they think I'm this, that, and the third, but then won't say it that now that I'm here on this walkie-talkie app. Let's get back to that.
So I was gonna say something. But I'm after some more. We can correct the record, and I'll defer my time to Nathan. I think he should be able to respond. Sorry, brother.
Thank you. this girl,
Why you let your son talk with that profane language? You got to.
It's Samoa's turn.
You just say the first.
Oh, okay, my bad. I had walked away and checked my.
Yeah,
my bad. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Mhm.
Put me in the queue.
So yeah, Chris, let me just say this, bro. I never brought up your name. I never said that you brought up anything. I never even brought that conversation up to this room about you saying anything about Walker. Never brought that up. I never critiqued that or anything like that. What happened was this. Jacobus brought your name up. I never brought your name up. I never brought up Stilgar's name. I never even said people was talking behind her back. I said, when she is in the room, people be talking. She took people be talking to people. 1 second, bro. She took people be talking because she's so insecure that people be talking about her. I never said that anyone was talking about her. She brought that shit up because her dang mind always jump into stuff because she's such a guilty girl, right?
Yes,
Man, shut up. No one, I didn't interrupt you. Anyways, like I said, because she's so insecure because all the bad shit she done in her life, right? Anytime something is about her and people talking, she think about the worst thing. I never brought up anyone talking bad about her. She made that shit up. So what I did, when she did that shit, I just shut up. Because I learned this from Jacobus. The more the monkey climbs up the tree, the more the monkey will expose himself. So all she was doing was projecting her insecurities. I never said that Chris was talking about you. I never said that Stilgar was talking about you. None of that shit. You dumb girl. And lastly, I'm going to tell you this, Chris. Chris, we don't rule in this room, bro. We don't talk about people's spouse. We don't talk about people's kids. So what she's telling you, that's not how this room operates. Like, people in this room get kicked to the audience, right? When they do that dumb shit what she was doing. But because I'm a moderator, and because I have a tolerance built like fucking steel, like that shit doesn't affect me.
Where was it for Pope? We all talked about her husband.
1 second.
Exactly.
Bro, like, chill out. You know, interrupt me again. I'm just moving out. So, anyways, like I was trying to say before I was interrupted, because the truth hurts when you dang talk to these dang young insecure women, right? But then, look, Chris, this room doesn't operate like that. We don't talk about people's spouses. Now, people do it. But that's against the rules. Like, this room is never that way. When people post up your pictures, none of that shit. That's that ghetto ass shit what she brought to this room. She came here and affected the good old culture of this room with a nasty ass, right? She's like a fucking roach. She laid her eggs all up in the corners and they just infest the fucking room. And all of the good black people are gone. All of the good white people are gone. This is what we have left. Ratchet assholes.
I mean, I just would like to think that sometimes, you know, when the
I was next.
all right, go ahead.
Add me back to the queue.
I want to be a
Add me back to the fucking queue.
I defer my
And then I'm going to bed after this shit.
I defer my time to line.
Oh, you was next?
Yeah, I was next. I defer my time to
No, I wasn't ready yet. I'm going to put together a nice little quick.
Okay, then I can respond. Wait, the king say.
Hold on. I can't respond. I defer my time to Chris.
He said I gotta put together a little slip.
You know, a little legal, you know.
Hey Chris, you
Go ahead, Chris.
Yeah. No, I just want to be clear. I don't like when anyone tries to make me out to be anything other than I am. I am who I am online, and who I'm not. I am consistent online and offline. So when I hear things like, "Oh, well, you said that she was ghetto or she was ratchet," no, that's not the case. Like, don't conflate situations. Don't try to twist reality. And it does kind of rub me, you know, just kind of the wrong way when you are actually trying to be genuine, whatever the circumstances are, to try to meet someone and say, hey, like, I saw what happened and I didn't think that was okay. I didn't think that was cool.
Never brought that up.
Well, it seemed like you kind of gave the alley-oop to Jacobus.
Never
before. before he even mentioned what he said, because you kind of primed the space and you were saying, oh, well, when Robert gets in the room and people are saying stuff that's not being said, and then Jacobus goes in, and then it's just like, I don't know. Like, my discernment is clocking something here.
But the context of what you said was there's certain dudes on here, the only reason why they're nice whenever she's around is because of their own ulterior motives with some sort of a...
Samoa, there's a Q, Samoa. There's a Q.
Hold on, real quick.
Is it? No. There's a Q, big dog. There's a Q.
Hey.
Big dog. Big dog.
Relax.
It's a Q.
You're going to
There's
prolong
a
this.
Q.
Nigga, I got 5 hours.
I don't give a fuck.
I got 5.
Oh shit, that is funny, bro.
King, didn't you say you wanted to go?
I did. It's kind of funny. It's kind of funny these niggas trying to act like I did say that. It's all good, dog.
It's okay. It's Samoa. He dominates the mic, you know.
Yeah, I just be
Go ahead, Chris. Finish up, bro.
Damn, look at it.
The more the
Fast forward, Chris.
The more the monkey climbs, the more the monkey exposes himself.
That's a fact. That's a double fact.
Chris,
No,
what you
that's all I had to say. Is just don't say that don't make it out to say that I said things that I did not say.
I never, bro. That's you. That's in your mind. You fucking guilty ass nigga.
All right, Chris. Not Chris, King.
Nathan, you don't have to worry about me having any like genuine moments or anything with you like that, because I can't really
Bro,
trust
I
you.
never brought that shit up. You doing that? I never said that shit. Ask anyone in the room. Never said it.
Exposing himself with a guilty conscience.
What's wrong with you, bro?
All right, go ahead, King.
Man, I'm good, man. Y'all on some weird shit.
All right, it's my turn. All right, cool. It's my turn. Couple things, right? Chris, I'm glad you're waking up, bro. Glad you're waking up. Number 2, Jacobus. Welcome back, Jacobus. You know, it's crazy how you were one of the people I mentioned, right? Where I make the analogy. Hold on. Yeah. Hold on. All that. You know, you were one of the ones that Nathan was up in the balcony and he picked up and he chose. You were chosen, right? To be his booty clapper. You were a mod. You got to show out. You did your whole booty clapping for Nathan. But you know, you're a one-trick pony. And the booty clapping got tired. And then, hold on. And a new booty clapper came in town. And you fell from grace. And it's so sad, right? That even without the green bean, you are trying your hardest to climb back the social currency ladder from Nathan by sucking his dick right now. It's actually really hard for me to witness, right? But to go back to what was said originally, okay. All that. So again, right? All that. So what's crazy is, right? We want to talk about insecurities, right? Nathan, you're probably the most insecure man that I met in chillism, right? Everything that you have said thus far can be said about you, right? Down to the PTRs of you putting Facetune on your photos to enhance your looks because you're ashamed of how you actually look, right? With the elf PTRs and, you know, all of the different hairstyles, pretending you got a hairline when you were a bald head, Magic Johnson looking ass nigga, lightening up your skin, changing your ethnicities, trying to straighten out that cash register jaw that you have, you know what I'm saying, to make you look more appealing to the women in the room, because I hope you're not doing it for the niggas now. Because I wouldn't have assumed you, right? But you do your thirst traps, married man, right? For whatever reason, you decide to do that. Mr. Insecurity, Bahamian bitch, right? So I find that to be very interesting. It almost feels like you are this washed up guy, right? Because I know that the whole culture in the Bahamas is not same as the United States, where you got to be the cool kid, because we all know that Americans laugh at the Caribbeans and the Africans and we treat them very bad. So now this app is your claim to fame to get your cool points that you never got back when you was in high school and you was an ugly monkey looking ass nigga, right? And now you are pushing 50, trying to talk to a young bitch like me, right? And clocking every single thing that I do on this app, right? Right? Only an insecure man would do something like that. Only an insecure man or a man that want to fuck me, right? Because I don't understand why my pussy has anything to do with your concern. My meta pussy at that, which is crazy. Because I heard what you said earlier. Oh, yeah, you don't want none of that. I heard it was ran. Why are you inquiring? Whether it's ran through or not, Mr. Married Man, right? So again, when it comes to anybody in this fucking space being fucking insecure and washed up, it's you, sir. So you can sit here and paint whatever narrative you want to paint, Nathaniel, because it's not going to work. And this is my last point, right? All of the good blacks that used to be here, they left before I came around. Let me name them. Why did Lady Chi leave? It wasn't because of Guava. Why did Miss Patty leave? It wasn't because of Guava. Why did Goat leave? It wasn't because of Guava. Why did Otis, excuse me, why did Otis leave? It wasn't because of Guava. Why did King Nani leave? It wasn't because of Guava. Why did that other guy who used to act like Mr. Philly, I forgot that old man's name. I forgot. It wasn't because of Guava. Why did the Leafers?
Thank God, this should not be a ghetto room. Whatever, no, thank you, Trump. Thank you.
Well, damn. You removed her? Oh, wow.
Shut the fuck up.
Yo, there is a God. There's a God, bro. All the atheists out there,
Her phone probably died. Just give a couple of seconds.
yes, thank God.
Did you remove her? No one touched her.
They didn't touch her.
This is a bro. Put your hands down, bro.
Nah, I'm just
Hey, Chris, you there, bro?
That's kind of crazy. Yeah, you do all that.
Hey, Chris, you there?
It would have been funny, but no, they didn't touch her.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. Chris kind of leaned into you like that, bro.
Bro, like, what the fuck, Chris? Let me tell you something, bro. The nerve for you to think I'll do some dang shit like that, bro, says something about you, bro. I didn't bring up your name, but
If you look in the chat, her chats are still there. Just throwing it out there.
Yeah.
no, take down.
He's a good black man, so we
The
don't.
nerve of you, bro. I wouldn't dang bring up no shit like that inside no room for no fucking conscience, bro. I didn't even say, bro, I never said shit about people talking shit behind the back. Never. But she talked that shit up. But I let her dang stupid ass brain work.
She made the
When it stopped,
lady.
yeah, when it stopped working, then all of a sudden you jumping there like,
That was name
yeah, that's what I said.
Why this nigga
Jacobus brought your name up. And you dang jump and say, I brought your name up. I didn't fucking bring your name up.
So was Jacobus in the room when I was sharing what I was sharing with you?
No. The term ratchet. The term ratchet was not associated with you. What was associated with you was somebody who might have spoke ill of her, but not clarified. The term ratchet she brought up by saying even Bima said I was ratchet. That's the only time that term even came up.
Can I respond? Nathan, can I respond? Because I don't want chaos to spew over my comments. So all I'm going to say is this. The Lord working mysterious.
So you're just not gonna take it.
Hold on, let me finish. Settle down. Look,
This is crazy.
all I did now was
This is a man.
listen. Hold on, relax. Look, all I did was say a truth that the Lord whispered in my ear, and lo and behold, the man told on himself. He said, "I did say something like that," and he tried to move the goalposts. So all I'm saying is, just like Nate, hold on, settle down. Just
Never
like Nate
use
said,
that. You never
the
use
monkey
it.
climbed high enough upon the tree, the more he exposed himself. And he climbed high enough, and he exposed himself. We should just look past it, not to hide nothing from the Lord, and just move on.
At the end, he brought your name up like unprovoked. Is really what he needs to say.
Bro,
You can't say
multiple
because
times.
he's not a man. He can't do it.
Yeah,
It was crazy to me, but like Nathan's gonna keep giving him grace, I guess.
Yeah, but Nathan
no,
never brought
listen,
your name.
whatever I said I said Jacobus brought your name up, bro. I didn't bring your name up.
But you
He's
did
still working in that.
say Guava brought it up, and then I corrected you. But I wasn't. You might have said it before I got here, so
I'm in the room causing chaos.
No,
I'm not.
No. Because Guava responded to hearing it. She didn't know who said it, so she said, "What, Chris?" That's when Guava mentioned Chris.
No, it's not.
That's exactly what happened.
It was multiple.
What happened was this, bro. After I said that, I made a statement.
You're not gonna like this, me, and then say Chris's name.
It ain't hit like you thought it was. Shut the fuck up. So go ahead.
It wasn't trying to hit. I'm just recapping what you did that you do yourself. Cause you're a fucking idiot.
Hey. I'm Jacobus.
Exactly.
Bro, until you brought that shit up, Chris, I didn't even remember that conversation, bro.
Well, all I know is multiple people said that I called her ghetto and ratchet. It's not true.
No one said you called her ghetto and ratchet.
But here's the thing, right? I did feel bad when when that case was being made, because the other day I did say, and it wasn't just about her, but it was about the interaction that her and Knowledge were having. I didn't even say anything about her because I don't talk in that way.
You felt it.
I said that.
You felt it.
Well, yeah, I did.
I did. How am I lying if you felt it, nigga?
Oh, cut it
You
out.
man, how the fuck you
So
feel?
now he admits it.
No. What I'm saying is that, like, I spoke up because that's not the type of person that I am. Like, I could have just left quiet.
No one's like that, Chris. What's the point? No one's like that. You think everyone enjoyed that shit? Who enjoyed that very ghetto ass shit? Like her. Probably a fans or something like that. The ones who she give feet pics out to.
Say that quote again, nigga. The more the more time I upon that
The more him exposing body. But yeah. Anyways, what?
Look at this, Illinois Republican politics seduces Doge. Okay, I'm gonna make a recording here. Share the stacks. This is breaking news, IllinoisRecord.com, list of rumored 2026 Illinois Republican governor candidates. The Illinois Record provides an overview of the top Republicans considering a run for governor by Max Rice, April 10, 2025. With James Medrick's gubernatorial campaign heading in the same direction as Jussie Smollett's acting career, many hopefuls are lining up to enter the high-profile race for Illinois governor. The Illinois Record breaks down all other rumored Republicans aiming to run for governor in 2026. President Trump tweeted, "Sloppy J.B. Pritzker, the rotund governor from the once great state of Illinois, who makes Chris Christie look like a male model, and whose family wanted him out of the business because he was so pathetic at helping them run it, has presided over the destruction and disintegration of Illinois at levels never seen before in any state. Crime is rampant, and people are sadly fleeing Illinois. Unless a change is made at the governor's level, Illinois can never be great again." Richard Porter, appointed as a special assistant to President George H.W. Bush. Attorney Richard Porter has spent decades as a behind-the-scenes player in Republican politics. Portrayed by Christopher Wallinger in Impeachment: American Crime Story, Richard Porter was the fixer who spent 6 years probing and publicizing Bill Clinton's sex scandals, ultimately leading to his impeachment. More recently, Porter served as Illinois' RNC committeeman. Porter has flirted with a gubernatorial run for years, but never pulled the trigger. That could change in 2026. Pictured here is Richard Porter supporting Richard Irvin for governor alongside Lynn O'Brien. Porter's support for liberal Richard Irvin could come back to bite him in a Republican primary. Porter has been appearing on local radio, tested the waters with potential allies, and published national op-eds on tariffs. All signs suggest he's seriously considering jumping in. Still, Porter is famously cautious. Even with a viable path to a primary win, he may sit it out, especially with J.B. Pritzker's advantages. Taxpayer money to buy state and local employee support, name recognition, 8-figure campaign funds, and an election-rated safe Democrat from the Cook Political Report. We've previously criticized Porter for cozying up to questionable Illinois GOP figures. But Porter's philosophy is to fund everyone, and he doesn't play favorites. His influence flows through steak dinners, front row Cub seats, and checks ranging from $500 to $10,000. Facebook Tom DeVore brags about Cubs tickets. My first game at Wrigley, thanks to Richard Porter. In a state where a new washing machine costs more than most Republican organizations' bank accounts, Porter's largesse buys absolute loyalty that spans Republican ideology. He might be the only guy in Illinois who could get soon-to-be former attorney Tom DeVore and his nemesis, House GOP leader Tony McCombie, to come to back him in a primary. Richard Porter with State Rep Tony McCombie. My buddy Richard Porter and I back at it again this year. Facebook Tom DeVore with Richard Porter. House Republican leader Tony McCombie left has been sued by Tom DeVore over social media access. Porter says he's uniting the party. We might say he's enabling its losing corrupt culture. Either way, his Chicago ties and polished presence, he's a former partner at Kirkland & Ellis. Make him a candidate who likely will not scare independent and Democrat voters who have haunted Republican statewide elections hopes by creating a new stronghold in Cook and the collar suburban counties. In the Illinois Record's view, Porter's biggest threat is a Republican primary where Southern Illinois has an outsized influence, and most of the candidates are from the North. For Porter to emerge from the Republican primary, he must either dominate his home turf or hope the field gets crowded with multiple candidates with strong ties to Southern Illinois. Darren Bailey is a multi-generational Illinois farmer, former state senator, and founder of Full Armor Christian Academy, pre-K through 12. He's the 2022 Republican nominee for governor and a 2024 nominee for Congress against incumbent Mike Bost. This week, Darren Bailey was in D.C. looking for financial backing after speaking at the McHenry County Lincoln Day dinner and promoting his new book, Classic Signals He's Eyeing a Comeback. Pictured is Darren Bailey with Tom Weber at the McHenry County's April 5th Lincoln Day dinner, in which Bailey was the headline speaker. April 6th, Darren Bailey takes to D.C. to apparently seek big money supporters for a gubernatorial race. But he may need a new top donor. In 2022, Republican megadonor Dick Uihlein pumped more than $50 million into Bailey's campaign effort, $10 million directly to Bailey, and $42 million to the profit-run PAC, People Who Play by the Rules. Uihlein demanded Dan Proft, not Bailey, control the spending, a setup that drew legal scrutiny and triggered a lawsuit over potential coordination. This time around, insiders say you lean may focus on safer bets like local races or sit the cycle out entirely. Election officials to weigh whether Darren Bailey and GOP operative Dan Proft illegally coordinated. Capitol News, Andrew Adams and Hannah Meisel. Bailey still has real strength, statewide name recognition from 2 major campaigns, and likely support from pro-life organizations. But the vulnerabilities are just as real. Voter fatigue, scorched earth baggage from a bitter congressional primary with MAGA rep Mike Bosch, and the risk that old controversies like the quietly settled labor dispute with his teenage body man resurface at the worst possible time. Former Bailey staffer threatening to sue and how Proft got involved. Bailey also knows what a governor's race costs and what losing a third time could mean. Still in a fractured primary field, Bailey has a path to win the primary. He's one of the few with the conservative brand, the base, and the campaign experience to run a statewide campaign. Aaron Delmar. Delmar made his statewide debut as Gary Rabin's 2022 running mate, but in Cook County, he's been a bureaucratic title collector for years. He served as a Rauner appointee to the State Highway Commission, chair of the Palatine GOP, 5th District State Central Committeeman, on-off again Illinois GOP co-chair, and the Cook County GOP chair. Of course, there's the $20,000 a year paid position as Palatine Highway Commissioner, which this month he controversially managed to hold on to by cutting deals with Palatine Democrats to run a mixed slate, avoiding election and securing a taxpayer-funded job many believe shouldn't even exist. We've reported on Delmar extensively, often highlighting his troubling connections to Sol Raper. What we haven't revealed is that a national journalist tipped us off, and that same reporter has since compiled information that could seriously damage Delmar's political ambitions, both here and elsewhere. Delmar's campaign could easily become the perfect piñata for Illinois Democrats to swing at, offering them a chance to deflect from their own record while using Delmar to paint Republicans as slimy hypocrites without values. The smart move for Delmar would be to write a book and slide into a comfy pundit gig next to his political mentor, Pat Brady, Chicago media's favorite Republican in name only, to opine on issues of the day. Still, Delmar has put in a lot of time, hundreds of hours at Lincoln Day events statewide, and likely would enjoy a year-long party, fundraising, and self-promotion tour that comes even close, even with losing gubernatorial campaigns. And there have been public hints that Delmar may forego basic risk management and run for governor. Aaron Delmar is back. This was Gary Rabin. Delmar is the best governor candidate in Illinois who can win Chicago in a primary. His LG candidate will be Christie, a total rock star from LR, me, Rob Rowe, Julie, Christie, and Aaron. Do you know Aaron Delmar yet? Gary Rabin's now deleted Facebook post announcing that Delmar will be running with Christie. Gary Rabin recently let it slip online that Delmar is indeed running for governor, and with former Chicago lovable Christina McCloy as Delmar's lieutenant governor. Another clue came when Delmar announced a once-in-4-year fundraiser at his Palatine United Party running mate Andy John Kalkunis' steakhouse, a not-so-subtle hint toward a gubernatorial bid, given the race is held every 4 years. Aaron Delmar announces a once-in-every-4-year event. Facebook Andy John Kalkunis, former Dennis Hastert worker Mark Vargas, and Delmar. In 2022, Andy John Kalkunis controversially launched a culinary scholarship with his brother Stelia, who at the time was a convicted sex offender. In 2024, Stelia was indicted again, this time for child trafficking and producing child pornography as part of an apparent disturbing sophisticated operation. Delmar faces an uphill battle with the MAGA base after blaming Trump for January 6th, and striking a deal to run alongside far-left Palatine Democrats. He'll also draw fire from the Maha crowd due to his strong support for COVID vaccines. Suburban neocons may bypass him in favor of a more polished candidate like Richard Porter, especially if Delmar picks a Chicago Bulls cheerleader as his running mate. The pro-life lane, at least in theory, could be open to Delmar, but it's still a long shot. He now claims to be life, but most groups in that space are more likely to rally behind candidates with a stronger anti-abortion record, like Darren Bailey or Gene Ivas. And religious organizations will likely hesitate to endorse someone who actively runs casino-style gambling events and once owned a site called SoulRaper.com with demonic imagery. Gene Ivas was a highly active Republican state rep who remains a bona fide Illinois conservative celebrity thanks to her 2008 challenge to the unpopular Governor Bruce Rauner, where she came shockingly close to winning. Since her loss to Sean Casten in the 2020 congressional race, Ivas claims to dedicate 50 hours a week to her nonprofit Breakthrough Ideas, which has been profiting her 6 figures annually. The organization seems to shift from one hot button issue to another: pornographic books in schools, fentanyl, Mexican border, China, and now Doge. Breakthrough Ideas raises around $1 million annually, all while heavily promoting IVIS's brand through a podcast and a sponsored spot on AM radio. We jokingly call her Jean DEI Ivis, a nod to her acceptance into West Point right after they introduced affirmative action-like policies to admit women. While Ivy's since built a career criticizing DEI and other identity-driven agendas, she's managed to pull in millions of donations from people who already agree with her, but hasn't exactly expanded her appeal beyond that base. A political science aficionado, Ives likely knows she won't win, but that's not necessarily the goal. Running for governor could be an excuse to raise tens of millions of dollars, money she cannot spend and later donate to her nonprofit, Breakthrough Ideas, all while getting a years-long media tour that will be the equivalent of millions in earned media and will help keep her brand relevant. If Darren Bailey drops out, Ives could quickly secure pro-life endorsements, often the clearest indicator of who will win a contested GOP primary. And with obese billionaire J.B. Pritzker being a popular target of Republicans' angst, the primary winner could easily rake in over $100 million from passionate donors, creating a sizable financial ceiling for Ives to consider. Joe Severino. Lake Forest businessman and family man Joe Severino may have tipped his hand with a subtle Facebook photo update. He was floated on the Illinois GOP consultant podcast Smoke-Filled Room, and even his critics, like consultant Philippe Milla, admitted that if Severino ruins, he probably will not be insignificant. Severino would be the most Trump-like candidate in the field, perhaps the GOP's most effective political brawler. Severino combines raw facts with brutal Trump-style haymakers. He doesn't hold back, calling out a GOP official accused of groping teens who resigned, exposing a committeeman for following porn bots, highlighting a congressional candidate's ties to the CCP sale, and demanding Sheriff Mendrick take a lie detector test over his alleged hate crime hoax. Facebook Severino calls for James Mendrick to take a polygraph. Severino's attacks often go beyond what's considered normal policies, but they land because he usually spotlights politically relevant, uncomfortable truths. Facebook Severino calls out Democrat Congressman Brad Schneider over Deerfield police reports involving a sex worker. As a Trump-supporting religious pro-life Maha conservative living among rich neocons in the northern suburbs, Joe is well positioned to connect with the diverse constituencies that shape a Republican primary. He could be a serious contender in a race that might not attract many serious candidates. Insiders say Severino's campaign promise is to put the Illinois Republican Party on trial. Given the party's parade of ethical lapses, corruption, and outright weirdness, we're not opposed to seeing that message spread across the state. Todd Ricketts is a board member at TD Ameritrade, former RNC finance chair to Trump, and most famously a co-owner of the Cubs who played a key role in ending the World Series drought. Ricketts is a religious conservative, wealthy businessman, Trump ally, everything you need to win a partisan primary. In a general election, Ricketts is one of the few who could incredibly compete with Pritzker's fundraising and name recognition. However, Ricketts has been silent so far. A brighter path to a general election. Wynn would be running for untrustworthy Republican Darren LaHood's safe Republican seat in the 16th district. But if Ricketts jumps in the 2026 gubernatorial race, he instantly becomes a frontrunner in the primary and a threat in the general. John Cabello, longtime Rockford police detective, multi-term Republican rep from Northern Illinois. Representative Cabello was the first Illinois elected official to endorse Trump for president in 2016, served on his victory committee. 2024, he came a few votes short of becoming the Illinois GOP chair. If the vote had been public, Cabello likely would have beaten Kathy Sullivan easily, who recently told a crowd that she wears the phrase rhino as a badge of honor. But unfortunately, the Illinois GOP chair is decided by mostly corrupt or strange state central committeemen, and the 17 SCC members narrowly chose Salvi, who, despite frequent media appearances, still hasn't delivered a coherent sentence or an electoral win. Running for governor would mean giving up his House seat, which might give Cabello pause, but don't rule it out. Trump, who recently said the 2026 race is the last hope to save Illinois, could lobby one of the few elected Republicans in Illinois to fight Pritzker. Cabello, who is calling for the creation of an Illinois Doge committee, has constituents in critical collar counties, has messaged discipline, isn't afraid to be a MAGA Republican, would be on the short list. Kevin Warren. Kevin Warren is a devout Christian who often praises the Lord. He credits faith as the foundation of every decision he makes. Former college basketball standout Warren earned his law degree from Notre Dame, rose through the ranks in sports law to president of the Big Ten. He won praise from football fans for working with President Trump to save the 2021 college season and helped lead the Big Ten Conference's last expansion. Since 2023, Warren has been at the helm of the Chicago Bears, overseeing a fan-favorite rebuild, spearheading efforts to move the team from leasing Soldier Field to revitalizing former Arlington Racetrack into the Bears' new home stadium. Where Pritzker has pushed back on Bears' requests for 30% state funding, some speculate Warren may respond to Pritzker in a big way by running for governor. There's talk of drafting him into the race, but Warren would have to step away from a promising 2025 Bears team. Though he's never publicly declared a party affiliation, his values and faith-first approach, recognized in 2023 with the Tony Dungy Uncommon Award, would likely resonate with GOP primary. And of course, don't be surprised if a local mayor, state senator, or outsider businessman jumps in. Illinois Record is ready to host a debate and will offer this platform to anyone who seeks higher office. Unless you fake a hate crime, then we'd really have to think about it. James Medrick still has not answered to the holes and inconsistencies in alleged hate crime hoax. And then these big strong men dropped a bullet on my lawn and screamed, "This is Antifa country." This is IllinoisRecord.com. Go to IllinoisRecord.com. Hope you enjoyed this audio breakdown of the list of rumored 2026 Illinois Republican governor candidates. Okay, everybody, this is Deep State Patriots and Illinois Republican Politics and News.